tray. You know what this is? Let's have to come this way so I can see your face because you're all in shadow. Would you mind turning? Here. Yeah, that's better. What you up to?
Training.
Training? It's Sunday. It's any day of the week, not ending in a Y. Always training.
Yes.
Yes. Is there anything in particular that you have in mind about training that you would like to share with students, whether they're your students or anybody? Something that's like important?
Practice every day.
Why?
Because it's good for your body, good for your mind,
Yeah.
make your kung fu better.
Uh-huh. And in your experience, what is it that seems to get in the way of people doing that most?
Well, people let a lot of things get in the way,
So,
you know?
right. So do you have any ideas of like some idea that, a suggestion for like how, something that can help keep people going with their consistency?
Think of why you started. Think of why you started your training. And if you remember the reason you started, you can always have success.
Yeah. I think what you're talking about is when they think about that, right, then they're going to connect to their feelings around how excited they were,
Yeah.
why they picked, the art that they're training, whether it's Wing Chun or something else, right?
Yep. Yeah. There's always that period of time when you're starting where you're very excited, and it's, if you can tap into that feeling and remember why it is you started.
Yeah.
For me, the inspiration is my Shifu.
Yeah. Yeah. And also, do you think it's helpful for students, like when they connect to that feeling, then also they, even if they're not super aware always, like that, when I started, I was thinking about my sort of future self.
Yeah.
But if you think about like, yourself in the future, like really see yourself, where do you want to be with your Wing Chun and what feelings that might, or whatever martial art you're doing.
Yeah,
If
right.
they connect to the future self.
I think it pays to remember where you were, the reason you started, and it pays to think about what you want with it in the future.
Yeah.
And if you really want success, remember why you started and remember that feeling and that excitement, and just keep going. Keep practicing every day. Don't let things get in the way and pull you away from your daily practice.
Yeah.
Even here it is on Easter, and what have I been doing most of the morning already?
Kung fu
Practicing.
things. All the things. Yeah. And I think it raises an interesting idea too. Oh, here's the cat. We can pivot to show the cat. Hi, Miss Biscuits. This is our resident feline. She's like, I'm always practicing. I'm hunting things. All right, we'll leave her to it. But this idea of when you think of yourself in the future, you talk a lot about how martial arts practice, when done rightly, for the right reasons, not like competition, fighting, all that.
Yeah.
But that it's not really about the fist. It's about the inner work, right? That you made a post on Facebook the other day about the mountain, Sir Edmund Hillary. It's like you don't conquer the mountain, you conquer yourself.
Yeah, you don't conquer the mountain, you conquer yourself. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Every time you practice martial art, you're practicing to defeat your inside enemy.
Right, like what they call like the near and far enemies. It's like your near enemies.
Yeah, so it's good for your health, it's good self-defense, and it's good exercise.
Yeah.
So,
And it's also like to your point about the inner work, it's like, so if a student, do you think it would be helpful if a student wants to, stay consistent and everything, part of what they can do is they think about their future self and what kind of a person they want to be.
yeah.
And look at how their martial art practice supports them, right?
Right.
To become that person.
Right.
You don't want to get to the end of your life and be like, oh, I didn't do the thing.
I didn't practice enough. I was never very good at Wing Chun, whatever, So, you always gotta keep going. That's the other lesson of Kung Fu is perseverance.
Right.
got to persevere. You got to keep going, even on days when you don't feel like training. You should still practice.
Yeah. That's
You know,
cool.
and these kind of lessons that you learn through that kind of hard work, you know, teach you in other areas of your life.
Yeah, and it, you know, it just occurred to me that it's really interesting that so many deep practices have this at their heart. In yoga, I can't remember the the name of it, but there's this idea of like having a daily routine.
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
like, so it eliminates, you know, what we might call the picking and choosing. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, I don't feel like it, but I'm just going to get up and I'm going to
you just
do my practice.
get started and do the daily thing every day. And, you know, and the routine supports you as well. You know, it's like when you don't have a routine, you know, you kind of idle time away, and the next thing you know, it's another day's gone by, right? And you've done what? You know, you've fiddled around with this and that, but you've not done the one thing that really is deep practice for you.
Cool. And it also sounds like what you're saying is like, not only, you know, there's the negative expression of like, oh, forget your Wing Chun for one day, it forgets you. But the positive flip of that, if you remember it today, you do it today, or whatever your martial art is, your practice, that then you remember it today and it supports you, and then that gives you energy to keep going.
Yeah, it gives you
feels
energy
good.
to keep going, right? And you get a buildup of practice then, you know, so that when there inevitably comes a time when you can't practice, your skill's not going to leave the body so easily.
Yeah.
Because you've got a buildup. There's an energy to it, you know.
Yeah.
When you build up, there's a spirit of practice that supports you in other areas of your life.
Cool. All right. We'll end it there then.
Okay.
And here's the kitty. She's torn.